All right, and welcome back to the final video of the vertical stabilizer in my project to build the RV-14. Um, as I've said before, I appreciate all those that continue to follow these videos. As you go through, if you like what you see, please remember to click that like button. It'll help others to hopefully sometime in the future come across these videos, and perhaps if they are having an idea about building an RV-14, this might help them. And so like I've said before, I make these videos both for my entertainment, but also for experience for others to see, and perhaps to see someone go through a step that they might have a question about. Any help that I can provide is great. I'm no expert by any means, but as others have said, we learn from each other's mistakes, and that's a good thing. So this video is going to just be a lot of riveting as I'm attaching the skin to the skeleton, doing the final assembly. And I've actually edited quite a bit out of this video. This is probably about an hour and a half, almost 2 hours worth of video that's compressed to about 6 to 9 minutes, about 6 minutes of this, plus a little final video of the overall experience with the vertical stabilizer. So it's been a learning process. This is the first step of the procedure of the plans. It's all of 4, maybe 6 pages, but it's pretty time consuming, especially since you're learning a lot of this for the first time. And so one of the things that I've taken away from this is, as you go along, you're gonna make mistakes, and don't be afraid of them. Just make sure that you own up to them correctly, and that if you have a question about something, go seek out the answers before you proceed too far. And if you think that you might have made a mistake that's irrecoverable, then make sure that you take it upon yourself to buy the replacement part if needed. The only thing you're going to hurt is yourself later on if you try to cover up a mistake and it ends up being a structural integrity issue. So it behooves you to own up to your own mistakes. And so that's one thing I've done through this whole process. Anytime I've messed something up, I've gotten a hold of somebody that knows a heck of a lot more than I do, gotten their opinion, and then been quick to purchase a new part if needed. So it is a learning process. You will make mistakes. Don't be afraid of them. Just accept it, own it, and carry on. So, but with that being said, it's a great experience for those who might be interested, and you stumbled across this video. It's a great process. It's a lot of fun, especially when you get to this point, when you finish a piece and it looks like a piece of an aircraft. It's a lot of fun. Even just 10-15 minutes a day makes a tremendous difference. Some folks think that you have to be retired. I am not retired. I work a pretty hefty schedule, and I try to make it a point of going out at least 10 or 15 minutes a day to do something, whether that's building a piece on whatever part I'm working on, or if it's making wood supports for something that's a step or two that's coming up, things like that. So just doing something to make progress will help tremendously. So here's my kids, my little boy Adam and my daughter Audrey. They come in to see me every once in a while as I'm working on the project and try to see where I'm at, and they like hanging out with me every once in a while, especially my little boy Adam. And it's fun to try to teach them as I'm going along, and hopefully kind of spread the bug. That's my ulterior motive here, is kind of spread that aviation bug to my kids. I'm a pilot. My wife worked on her pilot's license. She hasn't finished it yet. I emphasize the word yet. Her grandfather is a pilot, and we have a lot of fun with aviation in our family, so trying to make sure that we pass that along to our kids. So anyway, finishing up here, these are the last pieces on the vertical stabilizer. Working on the upper rib here, and you're left with a couple holes in the top rib and a couple holes in the bottom rib that you don't touch, and I'll talk to those here in just a little bit as I finally present the finished product. And as I explained in the previous video, so up to this point I've not attached the rear spar, but that's so you can have access to the insides to be able to rivet the ribs and everything to the skins here. So now I'm just checking, make sure I got all the holes that I expected to get filled with rivets, and now I'm finally clicking on the rear spar. So again, I'm going to go ahead and let this finish out here. I'll end this video with a final presentation of the finished product. And again, to all those who continue to watch these videos, I appreciate it. We'll look forward to the next video series. All right, this is the finished product for the vertical stabilizer. It's got the 6 holes that have been left undimpled, undrilled, and it's on both sides. That's where the fairing is going to attach, which I believe is part of the finishing kit. But other than that, all the rivets are in. As you can see, the rear spar assembly is all completed in. It's got the brackets for the rudder hinge assemblies. So you also leave this hole here and this hole here are left open according to the instructions. I believe that these are, or at least one of these is going to be electrical wiring pass through for the, what I would imagine would be the taillight kit, essentially, on the rudder itself. But this piece here will attach to the cone or the empennage, and then this here would be fairings coming out to the horizontal stabilizers and the rest of the body and whatnot. So today is the 17th of December. I started on the kit about October 28th, I believe, just before Halloween, is when I received it. So about 2 months to get it completed, but I also was waiting for several pieces, the skin itself, and then also the doubler, this piece here. I was waiting on this because I'd messed those up. So I took a break from it, worked on the rudder itself, and have now also got it almost complete, with the exception of the trailing edge portion of it. So overall, good experience, learned some lessons, especially when it comes to not reading ahead in the instructions, which is what caused me to make the mistakes that I did. So overall, pretty impressive, and keep going.